Okay, we have Windows Admin Center installed. We have it up and running. We've added some servers into it. Now, the challenge is it's not giving me some of the functionality that I want. So I can go to my DC and I can manage local users and groups, but I cannot manage Active Directory users and groups. Um, I can't RDP to the server. I can't PowerShell connect to the server using PowerShell remoting. Okay, I want some of that capability and I don't have it. Well, that capability is found inside different extensions. So remember, this doesn't work if you're not connected to the internet. We need to be connected to the internet to install extensions and to update our extension catalog even. So I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to come down here to extensions. And this is going to show me all of my available extensions. So I'm going to have right here available extensions. I'm going to have installed extensions. We can see here, and it's going to show us the status. And then here's where I can turn on automatic updating. Now, this one's been up for a little while. I have automatic updating turned on. If I don't, then it's going to show me, hey, update available. And I'm going to be able to click on it and then choose to update. As it is, I can click on it and uninstall the extension if I don't want it. But if I go to available extensions, let me take the PowerShell one just because that seems like fun right now. I'm going to come down to PowerShell and oh look, I have two of them. I've got 4.24, which I'd have to download. I have the 4.23 is pre-installed. I want to do the 4.24. So this gives me details, run PowerShell commands and scripts on your servers and PCs, the ID, the authors. Okay, that looks interesting. And so I'm going to click install. Installing, please wait. This page will reload after installation is complete. And then I can click OK to make this go away. Now, I'm going to leave it here though. So up here, I now have, I'm going to have to close that to get here. So much for leaving it there. So up here, I have a job. So installing the extension PowerShell, and this shows up. So this is all my notifications, errors and warnings, active, and this means I have an active job. So if I click on that, it filters out all of the other ones. Info gives me just the info ones that have succeeded. My active one, we are actively installing an extension for PowerShell. Now, this does take longer than I think it should. I like everything instant, so take that for what it's worth. Okay, there we go. It reloaded the page, and now we should have the new extension available. So I'm going to come back to my server manager. I'm going to find my DC server and wait for it to finish loading all of my extensions. These should be in alphabetical order, and right here is my PowerShell extension. So I open up PowerShell, it runs a bunch of stuff, and right here it tells me I'm on Basset 301dc.basset301.local, and I have a valid PowerShell script, or valid PowerShell screen. So I'm going to do get child item. And, oh, I'm in the documents. Let's do set location, sql /, and then do a get child item. There we go. And I'm running this against my DC server. When I'm done, I can just exit. So session ended. I can reconnect here, or I can go to my next tool that I want to access, or I can go back to my server manager. Let's add a couple of more extensions here. So we're going to go to settings, extensions, and I'm going to add, under available extensions, I want the remote desktop extension, most current version, and I'm going to click install. And then I'm going to go ahead and pause this while this finishes installing, and then we'll pick it up afterwards. Okay, so our remote desktop installation is finished. The screen is reloaded. If I go to my installed extensions, by the way, I should now see PowerShell and remote desktop. So let me go back to my server manager, and let's go to the new Basset server and connect us in there. And wait for it to finish loading extensions, wait for it to finish loading data over here. I'm going to choose remote desktop, and I'm going to RDP to it. Now, a couple of things here. Specify the username, the password, use my little default password there. I need to select a keyboard layout, and then I need to, so this one I have to have, automatically connect with a certificate presented by this machine, and connect. And that will connect me in, and it gives me my options here to disconnect, send control, alt delete, and here's my little Windows Server screen. So it lets me RDP directly into any of my servers. Let me open up Server Manager here just for the fun of it. Server Manager opens, comes up, life is good. Okay, and when I'm done, I can disconnect. Okay, one more extension, because something we have not had available to us is Active Directory, and this is going to be a key one. So PowerShell, remote desktop, let me connect to my servers either through command prompt or through a GUI. But I don't have, I can RDP now or PowerShell to my DC, and I can manage Active Directory that way. But if we look at our, wrong thing, settings, extensions, we actually have an Active Directory extension available. And please notice, this looks relatively new, version 0.86. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and install this. DNS, DHCP, similar thing. They're services that we can manage through your file and sharing, manage file and sharing on our PC or on our servers. Very, very useful. You'll see a bunch of others here that are super useful. Just keep an eye out for when you have them duplicated. It's because we have more than one version available. So just something to be aware of. So I'm going to install the Active Directory extension, and we're going to look at that. And again, I'm going to pause the video while it finishes its installation process. Okay, so we've finished installing our Active Directory extension. And if we come over here under installed extensions, we're going to see Active Directory is installed. Also notice here under available extensions, it has been removed because it's no longer unavailable. It's an installed extension. Okay, that makes sense, right? Okay, let's go to our servers, and I'm going to start with Server Manager, and I'm going to go to Bassett 302DM. I haven't connected to that one yet. That'll be fun. This, by the way, is not a domain controller. So I come in here, my Active Directory does not show up here. Okay, that makes sense. I don't actually have Active Directory on this server, right? So things like PowerShell Remote Desktop, that I do. Roles and features, that I do, but I don't have Active Directory here. So it's not a domain controller. So I'm going to go back to my Server Manager, and I'm going to find my DC, Bassett 301 DC. And right here, Active Directory pops up immediately. Now, something I want you to see here, this is in preview. We saw this when we looked at the version of 0.86, where it says this tool contains preview functionality that is ready for evaluation and testing. However, it is a preview functionality. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we can do here. I'm on my overview. I can create things, so I can create a user, group, or an OU. I can search for things and then enable or disable or delete them, reset the password on a user account, I can look at properties, unlock an account. So this is my overview. I can also go to Browse, and in Browse, it will allow me to navigate through all of these different, let me view my computers, let me view my domain controllers, foreign security principles. And notice, by the way, that this is not the shortened version in Active Directory users and computers. There's more stuff in here. It's like the advanced view. Click on users. It's going to show me all of my users. And at any point, I can create. So I can create a user, group, or OU inside my domain. Enable, disable, I can't do that. Let me go to a specific user. I think the only one I have actually in here is, well, I've got a guest account. Let's play with that. So here's my information about my guest account down here. This will give me some more options. Enable, disable, reset password. look at their properties. So I do have some limited ability to manage Active Directory from the Windows Admin Center. Be aware that it is still being developed. Like I said, they've made a lot of progress with the Windows Admin Center. We have a lot more capability in it now than we did before, and they are continuing to develop it. So, and continuing to develop it relatively rapidly. So if you have not used the Windows Admin Center before, it might be something you want to consider at some point as one of your primary administration tools.